Hi guys, if you are seeing this video, first of all, just let me say thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I decided that I wanted to start my own YouTube channel because the plan is to eventually get myself into a car. I've been talking to a few people, some good friends that I know in the racing community, that I just want to bounce ideas off of them, I guess, to try and make sure I navigate my way through what I want to do the best. If this is my first video, Rex and I are going to, we're heading up to Nick's. We're gonna load up in the bus and go to Ice Cream Cruise. It's put on my 1320 video, and that is at I-29 Dragway, I believe. This is like the beginning of a new chapter for me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because there's going to be more content of Rex and I traveling. We're going to help Nick a little bit. I've got some plans for myself that are going to be, you know, evolving. So just hit the subscribe button. Like me on Facebook. Lady G or Lady Gangster. So there's going to be other girls that I want to feature too, that I think are pretty gangster within the racing industry. And I'm going to go into details more later about what all that means to me. But for now, follow along, subscribe to the channel, like the Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. There's not much content, but it's coming. I'm gonna pour out some content for you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, this is my first video, so let's see how the trip went. Alright, so we had a late start to the trip. Nick had a bunch of work that needed to get done. We didn't get it done in time. But we are in Indiana, and driving down the road we took, there happened to be a car show. So we're gonna go check out some of the cars. We got Rex with us, and he's excited to go for the walk. You ready, Rex? Let's go see. No.
Cut this right off.
But it's gonna go on my YouTube video.
Good, you should. A lot of times you're posting YouTube videos on the channel.
Not your channel, my channel.
Oh. No one wants to watch you just walking around with a dog.
No one wants to listen to you talk either. But here we are. This is gonna give me inspiration for what I can find for myself.
I already told you what to build.
I'm not getting a 33 Dodge Humpback.
The car?
Rexy, what's the matter? Will you come out, please? Come on, come out, please. Why are you hiding in there? What's the matter? Now, we got to the track just when the gates opened up on Friday. There wasn't very many cars there, but we were able to get a decent pit spot and get the trailer unloaded before people started rolling in, and then head to Tech for some test and tune.
You want to push it?
We are here at Ice Cream Cruise in Pacific Junction, Iowa, Dragway I-29. And 1320 is putting on the event. So we're here Friday. We're going to do a little test and tune because Nick hasn't put 29s on this car just yet. We don't know how it's going to react with the chassis setup and everything. So we're going to make a couple test passes and then hopefully be racing tonight. About an hour away, there's going to be some festivities, and then we're back tomorrow at Dragway I-29 for the small tire shootout.
All right, we're going to back.
Alright, so Nick made his test pass and he needs a tow back. Not sure exactly what happened, but towing him back. Hopefully we don't have to change the transmission. But we do have the spare if that's the case. Well, we got the car. Well, we got the car back, and it turns out that for one reason or another, if I understand this right, when the car kind of sits and is traveling for a little while, the way Nick has the transmission cooler set up, it's at a higher, I guess, area, and the gravity will pull the fluid out of the cooler, and it creates an air pocket. So essentially, I think what happened was the transmission kind of was a little faulty because of that air pocket in there. It didn't really do anything. We don't think it hurt anything, and it's acting fine. Nick checked everything over. Just blew a bunch of transmission fluid everywhere. But we got all that cleaned up, and we're thinking about making another test pass. Not sure. It's hot. It's kind of muggy. There's some festivities happening tonight, so we'll see what he wants to do. It's Saturday. It's raining a little bit currently, so hopefully that doesn't stop anything or put a huge delay on today's activities. Yesterday we went and met up with some other racers and got a late start to the night, kind of. But we had thought that the transmission puking fluid out of it was fixed, and we found out last night that it wasn't. So Nick made his pass, and I guess he doesn't have high gear. We're not sure why. We're not sure why it's puking fluid out the vent. We did a stator change in the converter, but we're not sure that that really should cause the transmission to be puking out fluid. So we got to the track now, and Nick drained the fluid. We're gonna pull the pan down, look at the transmission, the underneath of the transmission, see if their pickup tube's broken or anything like that. And I was thinking about it, and Nick had just rewired a bunch of stuff on the car. Now I don't think any of that would cause this to happen with the transmission, but I'm gonna bring it up to him just in case. Maybe something's not wired right and it's causing the transmission fluid to be pushed instead of pulled, or I have no idea. So we're gonna look at that too and see if we can figure something out. Racing starts at 7, I believe, and it's just now like noon, so we've got a couple hours where we can figure this out. I think Nick's gonna pull it out on the street and see if it pukes more transmission fluid once we get this hopefully fixed. So that's today's update, this morning's update. Rexy's in here. There he is. We're gonna go get some food in a minute. Little booger keeps running off, doing typical Rex stuff. So we drained the fluid out of the transmission and pulled the pan down, and everything looked pretty good actually, so Nick was happy about that. But unfortunately it did start raining. Rex and I went to go walk over to the other side of the track where all of the food trucks were, and it really started coming down. Well, they ended up bringing us over for a driver's meeting at 5 o'clock and had announced that part of the track has water that comes up from the ground. So they wanted to reschedule the Saturday racing into Sunday. And thankfully they did, because Saturday night it definitely came down hard. Okay guys, it is Sunday, and I'm just gonna do a quick little recap. There hasn't been any racing as far as Ice Cream Cruise goes until today. It rained pretty hard yesterday, like last night, and there was a bunch of flooding in the pits. They decided to hold the race because part of the track has water that comes up through the ground. So they held off on racing yesterday, but we're getting it off today. And small tire is the last class to run. Nick is the 5th pair down. And they do it a little different. When they draw chips, the white chip gets to pick the lane, which is something that I'm not used to. It's not necessarily bad, but something I've just never seen. So it's pretty cool to come out racing and see different things like that. See, there's so many cars here. I think there was about, Kyle said, over 1,300 cars that had registered for the Ice Cream Cruise between all of the different classes and different parts of the event. But we got our new shirts in. Thanks to Gina for getting these into us. A lot of you guys know one of the things that Nick always says is screw it. So the shirt says screw it, life's too short, or life's short, sell it all and go racing. And it really kind of sums up what Nick has done. This is small tire first round, first pair. This truck here is who won the small tire cash days. Holy crap. Okay. Nick made his pass, and as you saw at the end of the pass, it was right around the 600-foot mark. You saw a bunch of white smoke. So I guess what happened was I'll show you on the car too, the balancer, the screws backed out a little bit, which caused the crank trigger wheel to flex a little bit, and then it caused the alternator belt and the fuel pump belt to fly off the car. We tried getting it fixed up for second round. Chip draw was a cluster, but we were trying to get the car fixed up. We were trying to get the track to see if the belt was at the end of the big end and if they could bring it back to us. Nick's got a bunch of miscellaneous belts, but he doesn't know if any of them were, you know, going to be the right ones. So I was running around trying to get that belt, going to chip draw. They ended up just giving us the last chip, and we were supposed to race third pair down. We weren't able to get the car back together in time for that. There was just too much that went wrong, I guess. But we're working on getting it back together now, whether we can make some test passes or just have it back together for the next race that we decide to do. So this is the crank trigger wheel, and as you can see, the countersunk Allens that backed out put some markings in here. And actually, these down here, are what backed out. And so Nick took them all out, put some Loctite on them, put them back in, and hopefully that's going to be good enough for that. We got to still get the rest of the front of the car put back together. But hopefully these belts, he's got a pile of belts up there. Hopefully they'll work, hopefully they'll fit, because we never got the one off the track. The other thing is the track has a short shutdown, so Nick forgot to pull the parachute when he should have, at least, so it jammed on the brakes, kind of put some bald spots in the front runners here because he skid so hard. But he did pull the chute, he got on the brakes, he was able to stop, so that was nice. But we're gonna get the car put back together and hopefully it'll be good to go. We fixed the transmission issue, I think. Like, it didn't blow tranny fluid out the transmission this past, so that's good. But I don't know, just gotta keep on going. There's always something to do. He's pissed.
Rexy.
Alright, so Nick and I went and got a hotel last night after leaving the ice cream cruise, and we're still in Omaha area, but we got a hotel last night, got a shower, slept in an actual bed, enjoyed the air conditioning, and I was thinking about the stuff that I've been recording, I guess, that'll be in this video. I'm realizing that in my mind, the things that I wanted to record and wanted to be able to include in the video, I didn't get to do, so I know that there's going to be a big learning curve. Being in front of the camera is really awkward for me. I'm not comfortable with it, even though I'm just sitting here by myself and nobody knows what I'm doing. It's still not easy to do, and pulling my phone out or pulling the camera out to actually start recording other people and the different things that they're doing is also hard for me to do. So it's a learning curve. I'm gonna have to get used to it. The point of these videos are really just for me to see how I grow as a person and to do something that I enjoy. So I'm trying to figure out, like I said before, what I want to do with a car, what kind of car I want to get. I got to figure out where I'm going to work on it, how I'm going to do everything. Like, this is all just such an early stage for me, but I want to document everything that I can. I think it would be awesome to see in 2 months, you know, how much I've grown from there, and then again in 6 months, and then again, you know, just over time, see where all this goes. So I think Nick is coming. No, maybe not. I hate talking in front of the camera when he's here. I lost my train of thought. But I'm looking for a car. I'm probably going to start off with some of the streetcar classes. That might be something that I can do. Like, it's still a goal for me, but it's not so much of a goal that I get discouraged from finishing it. So I think that'll be a good start, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks, guys.